Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and for the next hour, I'm going to be your host as we take a moment to honor the fathers of America. Our country was founded hundreds of years ago by a group of men who we actually refer to them as our founding fathers. They did great things. Man, they put the whole country together, a brand new country with new ideals of liberty and freedom for all. Today, there are millions of people, millions of men across the world, fathers. They work hard every single day. They provide for their families. They protect our country. They teach our children. They all do all kinds of stuff to keep this great country great. So to every man who's watching me today, a man who works hard, and many times doesn't get thanked, not in a picture. To my family, my fellow Americans, I salute you. This show's for you. This is a show about fathers, honoring fathers. I want to tell you a story about my dad. His name was Julie. In 1956, he was diagnosed with MS. Little bitch. Instead of going home and having a pity party, he went home and found more help. Incredible story. But you know, my dad never gave in to pain, never did anything like that. He worked hard, 12, 14-hour days every single day. But he was always dad. Great sense of humor. Man, everywhere we went, he would joke with the waitress, he would joke with other people, he would joke with us. He just loved life, and that's what it's all about. And that's what dad's responsibility is, to take somebody as a little child, as a little infant, and work with them and mold them into an adult that's going to be great in life. And Dad, you did a great job. Thank you. We've got a great show coming up for you. We've got actor Jason Berkey, incredible World Cup player, Taylor. Don't change your channel. We've got a lot coming up.
At the bottom of the page here is what you're going to be receiving as your share of the inheritance.
Sometimes things look better from a long way off. Up close, it all changed suddenly.
He's not going to stop until
A long way off. Coming to theaters May 16th.
Well, for those of you who are so confused about what to eat, whoa, that was me 2 months ago and 45 pounds heavier. And on this new program, wow, the easiest thing I've ever done, and it comes off just like that. So I'm inviting you, if you're listening, if you're struggling, if you've had this problem before and you don't know what to do, I'm asking you to go to our website, totalweightlossclinic.com.
Not happy with your entertainment choices? Concerned about what your family is learning from current television programs? Try Parables TV. Parables TV offers faith-based entertainment that your entire family can enjoy. Featuring movies, series, documentaries, and original productions that will inspire healthy discussion on important topics. At home or on the go, Parables TV is what you want your family to watch. Our mission is simple. We provide the best in Christian entertainment that inspires one story at a time. Visit www.parables.tv and sign up today.
Hey, we're back. We're with son, father duo, Rusty Martin, Jr. Movies like Courageous and A Long Way Off. It's in stores right now. Thank you guys for being with us. Wow, what some amazing stuff that you guys have done. And my question is, how did it get started?
Wow. Well, I'll start. It's a two-part story. I started acting when I was about 8 years old. work that went into it, and I wanted to be a part of that. So we found a talent agency in Raleigh, North Carolina called Talent One, and been with them ever since. 2 weeks after getting represented, I was in my first national commercial, and it just kind of started, moving forward from there. Eventually moving on to Courageous when I was 14, and then that's when my film career, I guess you could say, started. But that's pretty much how I got started in acting, and then this ties into Dad.
I came kicking and screaming. Actually, I have a military background, so I didn't used to jump out of airplanes thinking one day I'll be in a movie. But actually, when Junior got started and really got started and started doing so well, his agent, would always tell me, this is something that you ought to consider, and of course I never would. But eventually I realized that, if your son plays soccer, and maybe he used to play baseball, if you want to spend time with your son, you better learn how to play soccer. If you want to coach him or whatever, be involved in his life. And I realized that, I have a young man who is very interested and very talented in this arena. And so maybe I should kind of throw my hat in the pool and see what happens. Maybe I can help him with his lines or, something. And now we're both out there doing films together. So it's been a crazy ride. It was really just a way to spend time with my son. And it's even better than learning soccer, because even if I were his soccer coach, I could never be out on the field with him. And we're actually in films together, out on the playing field together.
So we got you and your wife. Who does he most take after, you or your wife?
Oh, look in that light. Can
Yeah.
you see? No.
Oh. Yeah. Now, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
It's really cool to watch somebody who finds what they want and then just goes after it.
Right. Right.
Age doesn't matter.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So what are some things that your dad has done in your life to bring you to the point where you're at?
Right. Well, I would say the biggest thing is that he's always been a mentor to me, a friend. When I look at my dad, not only do I see him as my father, but I do see him as a friend, a counselor, someone I can go to with questions. Those dark moments and even those mountaintop moments, experiences, I can always go talk to him about it. So that's definitely been something. He's always been there. Another thing he's always done is kind of ties into acting, is that he's never done everything for me. He's always allowed me to kind of find my own way. And I talk to him all the time about it now. Sometimes when he would ask me to go do something like, hey, fix this, in the car, or go outside and do this job for me, I'd go out and I'd kind of have an idea about doing it because I've seen him done it before. But going out and trying to do it, I get frustrated because I didn't know how to do it. And I come back and he would very willingly show me how to do it then. But it was teaching me how to, when I see something, to go after it for myself and really make it my own. And so I think that ties into acting and also other areas of my life where when I see a goal, I make it my own. I don't look for anyone else to try to do it for me or to help me do it. I know that I can chase after it on my own.
Gave you the grace to fail.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's nice when some kids naturally get out of the nest and do that, and some others you just have to kick out.
That's right.
Right.
How has this acting thing bonded your relationship?
Well, just one experience was, we've done several films together, but of course, Courageous was a large one. It wasn't filmed here. It was filmed in Albany, Georgia. It's 9.5 hours from Raleigh. In fact, you can't get there from Raleigh. It's very difficult. There's no interstate that drives you straight there. So I was in just a couple of scenes. Junior was in a lot of scenes spread out over 3 months years ago. And so we spent literally hundreds of hours in the car back and forth, a father and son. He was 14 at the time. And, we got to spend that time together, alone, and then on set together. And so,
really
we use that time for him to ask questions. What questions might you ask?
Oh, typical 14-year-old questions. Girls, cars, college. At the time, I was thinking about the military, so I asked about that. All these life questions. I was really kind of forced into a position, being in the car with him for so many hours to, have no excuse to not ask.
Sure.
And plus, with our added, great relationship that we have, it just made it a lot easier to do that. So, and then as you probably alluded to, through Courageous and through those experiences of being on set together and working together through those hard times of set, we were able to even have a stronger relationship through that.
So this movie, A Long Way Off, solidifies the old story about the prodigal son.
Right.
An amazing movie. Enjoyed doing it?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I got to play Al, a homeless guy. I don't want to give too much away, but it was interesting. It was fun. It was
Want
different.
some money?
Well,
No, it's just...
It was fun. It was fun bringing that character to life and being that person that eventually, Jason Berkey, who was a fantastic actor, I really enjoyed working with him, he, finally listened to someone. It just happened to be this old homeless guy. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And it's a great movie, great production value. We were excited to be a part of it.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks
no
for being
problem.
here. Thanks.
You.
Appreciate it.
Don't change the channel because we got a whole lot more coming up. I love music. I grew up playing gospel music all my life. And in fact, in 1976, I recorded a gospel album with the Oak Ridge Boys in Nashville, Tennessee. What an experience. A little while ago, I interviewed some great people on my television show. I've been fans of theirs for years. They're great musicians, great fathers. Hear the Imperials. Well, if you've been around music for any time, you're going to know my next guests. They literally have defined Christian music as to what it is today. And so I'm with the Imperials. And so let's see what they've got to say about life. Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing, Tim?
Life is good. Glad you're here with me today. Life is good, isn't it?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about where it all started with the Imperials. Everybody looks at Arnold.
Oh, he's the oldest.
In 1964, a gentleman named Jake Hess, who was with the Statesman Quartet at that particular time, came to him with an idea of putting the four best voices he considered to be the best voices in Southern gospel music together to form a premier group. And so we went through a lot of names and ended up with Cheryl Nielsen, myself, Henry Slaughter, Gary McSpadden, and Jake. And that was a formation, and awesome. 2 years later, it actually happened. So it was quite a thing. We practiced for, Lord of mercy, 3 months every day. And everything was so perfect, it was almost unhuman.
Yeah, it was.
It was very perfect. And already had, the record company had already bought us a bus. We recorded in Atlanta at Lefebvre Studios, our first album. And we were launched.
So you guys stepped out of where you were,
Yes.
in the comfort of where you were, into this new venture.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was exciting, very exciting, because the group sounded great. People wanted to know what these four men would sound like together after seeing them with other groups.
Wow.
For so many years.
Now, I imagine it caused quite a stir.
Oh yeah, it caused quite a stir. I was in college when the group came to Minneapolis, and I remember I said, "Man, the Imperials are coming. I got to go to a concert." So we did.
Right.
We saw you at a Catholic school,
Wow.
and it was Jake and Gary and Armin and I think
Henry?
Jim was with you at the time.
Yeah,
right?
Jim was probably,
Yeah.
Cheryl was here about
Jim
a
Murray.
year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Jim Murray came on,
Yep.
which I feel was one of the greatest tenors of all time.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, you started there, and then through the years, it's just evolved into.
Well, Jake had a lot of health issues, and we had our offices in RCA Studios downtown Nashville, and he said, you know, I just can't take the road. It's just really physically bothering me. And so he let us know within 6 months he was going to move on, and so we replaced him with Terry Blackwood. And we also changed the style of music at the same time, gradually going to more a pop style.
Yeah.
They call contemporary, and pop style with Christian lyrics.
Now, I would imagine that caused quite a stir.
Well, it almost put us out of business.
Actually, that happened 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's, so many of the old hymns that we sing now caused a stir when they came into
Yes, right.
to being too. So.
A major move was when Sherman Andrews came in. Black guy, first black guy to be in a
Yeah.
white group, and another stir was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it turned out it could have been really bad, or it could have been disastrous actually.
Sure.
And the record company felt like it was a great move, and of course Sherman's a great singer, so he brought a style and a rhythm really of the black move
Yeah.
that kind of combined with what we already had going. And the secret was really good material, the right material.
Answer this question for me. Going before thousands of people has got to do something for your ego, and you guys have dealt with it. My question is this, for the young guys coming up, is there something that you can do to help them? Because I'm sure we lose a lot of people to the ego and the power and stuff at that point, that you can help them transition through that and get through that period.
Sure, each of us individually and even as a group, we've been in front of thousands of people. We've gone through all of those moments where our egos have been tested, and we've come out on the other side. We can see that for what it is.
Right.
And I think the thing that helps is that, you know, at our age, we're still standing,
Yeah.
we're still serving, we're still loving God, we're still living a life that's pleasing to the Lord. That's our goal. That's our daily goal. And that's what we can bring to some of the young kids. We know what they're getting ready to face. We know what they're getting ready to go through. So I think just the testimony of our life, of the history of the group, each of us individually, I think what we bring to a table is an endurance to continue and a faith that has kept us safe through all those transitions.
It's important.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. Through the years, you guys have sung with a lot of people and performed a lot of places. Some of your favorites that you've sung with?
Well, Jimmy Dean really was a wonderful guy. He just passed away long ago, and he was a great entertainer, just for the people themselves. And he reached that rich congregation of folks in Las Vegas that were probably above 40, but he knew how to entertain them, and also he supplied us an introduction to how the secular marketplace works, how Hollywood works, how what's going on there, which a normal gospel group who's sheltered in the church and all these things have no idea how that works.
Right.
So I was very educated when I was with him about what's going on. And what really brings you forth is your talent, the God-given talent God gives you. And he was proud to have us on his stage because it helped his show.
Sure.
And then we'd do a gospel set, and people was late standing in the casino would cry.
Wow.
We'd do something like He Touched Me.
Yeah.
And some of them were believers, so they'd raise their hand and praise God, things like that. So I know there was a spiritual effect as we did our part, also helping him with his program. And so it was a great relationship for 7 years. And of course the Elvis connection was really an awesome thing as well. I was a dear friend of his. The first time I met him was at RCA when we were called in to do a record, How Great Thou Art, that whole album.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting in a small studio waiting for him to arrive, and we had a call at 6 p.m., I believe, to be there. We were all there. The band, everybody was there. Studio executives, he walked in with his sunglasses, his high collar, and his long hair, and looked around and said, "Hello, gentlemen." And I was sitting in a small studio up in the back, and he walked, and he bypassed everybody. I was the first man he talked to. He says, "Armin, I'm glad you're here. I enjoy your voice." And that was absolutely amazing to me. And from that point on, we had a great relationship. I've been to Graceland several times when he was living there. And it was a great experience for me and my wife personally.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Well, we've met a lot of people, famous people. It's nice, all that. But there's nothing like touching somebody's life.
Yeah.
Here we go! Come on! I'm gonna take a trip in that good old gospel ship. I am going far beyond sky. I'm gonna shout and sing until old heaven rings. When I bid this old world goodbye, goodbye. I have news to bring. That is why I sing all my joy. With you I'd like to share. I'm gonna take a trip in that good old gospel ship. Got it sailing through the air. I'm gonna take a trip in that good old gospel ship. I am going far beyond sky. I'm gonna shout and sing until old heaven rings. When I bid this old world goodbye, goodbye.
Well, here with me now is Dove Award winner Krista Wells, Songwriter of the Year. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
What an honor. Wow. Yeah. Tell me, when did you know you had this incredible gift of writing music?
Well, I'm not sure any songwriter really feels the fact that they have an incredible gift. It's just something you love doing and don't know how to not do. So I started playing with music when I was 5 or 6, recording myself on those little old tape recorders where you push play and record at the same time.
With the reels?
No reels.
Oh, okay,
well, I mean,
cassette.
Yeah,
She's
cassette, not reel to reel. But yeah, I would play with those all the time. And then by the time I was in high school, I started writing kind of as therapy for my depressed teenage self. So that's where it all began. But I was in my 20s when I started writing for other people. So Songwriter of the Year was for a song called Held, which I wrote and Natalie Grant recorded.
Wow. So through the years, you've seen yourself progress.
Yeah.
Where in this is your father?
Well, my dad is an amazing man, and his voice was a big part of my childhood, listening to him sing. He sounds kind of like Bing Crosby, and so whenever I hear Bing at Christmas time, I think of my dad. But we would sing together around the piano a lot as kids. We would gather and sing Phantom of the Opera or Amy Grant or just whatever, my sisters and my dad and I. And I watched him get up in front of church groups and sing with quartets or by himself, and sometimes he would have me sing with him. By the time I was in college, we did a lot of weddings together.
Really?
And so, yeah, I probably would never have gotten up in front of people initially without my dad being at my side. So, pretty important.
I love the ability to create things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's cool about your story is this, is that you're a mom.
Mm-hmm.
You're just an average person that can create.
Yeah.
How did you get from where you were at, nobody knowing who you were or what you had? How did you start that whole process?
I'm still pretty sure nobody knows who I am most of the time. But I actually didn't have kids at the time when we moved to Raleigh. We moved away from Nashville, which goes against logical train of thought as far as my career goes. We moved away from Nashville, and I didn't know anyone out here. I wasn't sure how I could possibly find a way into the profession. But it was only after we moved out here that I really deepened my relationships with some people who ended up being pivotal in opening opportunities for me. So, namely Tiffany Lee and her husband, Jeremy Lee, they became my publishers. Tiffany's better known as Plum. She's an artist, recording artist. So Jeremy became my publisher from across, from Nashville to Raleigh, and pitched a few songs, just kind of banking on me. He's an independent publisher, so we were kind of banking on each other. And he had success placing a song with Point of Grace, and Plum recorded a couple songs, and then Natalie Grant recorded several songs. So I can't claim any great strategy. It's really just been providence. Really.
And that's the beauty of it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, don't change your channel, because we're going to be right back. And Chris is going to do a new song for us. We'll be right back.
I'm Jordan Rhodes. On behalf of myself and Mr. Foster from a long way off, I want to wish the fathers a very happy Father's Day.
Mom! Mom! Mom? Oh.
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
Call Life Alert now at 1-800-393-4183 to get a free brochure. That number again is 1-800-393-4183. 1-800-393-4183.
Not happy with your entertainment choices? Concerned about what your family is learning from current television programs? Try Parables TV. Parables TV offers faith-based entertainment that your entire family can enjoy. Featuring movies, series, documentaries, and original productions that will inspire healthy discussions on important topics. At home or on the go, Parables TV is what you want your family to watch. Our mission is simple. We provide the best in Christian entertainment that inspires one story at a time. Visit www.parables.tv and sign up today.
Wow, was that amazing? What an incredible singer. We're going to Atlanta, Georgia now. We're meeting with actor Jason Berkey. Jason, so good to have you with us. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
You recently played a part in a movie called A Long Way Off. You played the prodigal son coming home. Tell me what it was like to play that part.
Yeah, this role of the prodigal son is a tricky one. I was honored to be able to play it. I believe that it's a bit of a complicated role. I mean, this is a guy who loves his family deeply, but just feels stuck where he's at, and is just kind of at that age and at that point in life where he needs to discover things for himself. So he takes his father's inheritance and makes some bad decisions, and is easily influenced by his surroundings. I think that's something we can all relate to. And so it was a very enjoyable character to play, very tough, and very rewarding.
Now, perhaps the biggest moment of this whole movie is when the prodigal son comes home, runs up to his dad and gives him a hug. What was that like?
Yeah, it's a very powerful scene at the end when Jacob comes home to his father after spending all of his money, all of his inheritance, and literally waking up in a pigsty. He's experienced a lot since he's left home, and so this is a very powerful moment for him to come home to his father, not knowing what to expect from his father and from his family, and whether they take him back or not. As an actor, that was a very powerful scene to do with John Deal, who plays Jacob's father. John is an incredible actor, and I think in that scene we were really connecting, really feeding off of each other. So it was a very powerful scene as an actor. I think it will be a powerful scene as an audience member to experience.
Now, you're from a large family. Tell me what influence that your dad had in your life, bringing you to this point where you're actually a successful actor now.
Yeah, my dad is an incredible guy. He has always been very supportive of my acting, and without that, it would be a lot more difficult to be in this business if it weren't for the support of my father, also my mother. My dad and I share a very adventurous spirit, so we have gone on a lot of trips together, and have just experienced a lot of good times together, and he's just a solid man, has definitely influenced my life in a great way. So yeah, I love him.
Well, Jason, thanks for being with us. Do you want to send a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I guess I would do a shout out to all the cast and crew from this film. I've been able to see bits and pieces of the film, and it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to share it with everyone. So yeah, they're awesome.
Hey, Jason, thanks for being with me. And don't change your channel, because we have never before seen footage of an interview with world famous Pele.
Hi, I'm Rusty Martin.
And I'm Rusty Martin Jr.
And we want to wish all the fathers out there
a happy Father's Day.
Have you ever made a promise to your dad? Told him you were going to do something? Our next guest, at the age of 9, told his dad he was going to win him the cup. Not just any cup, the World Cup. Listen to our guest, Pele, tell his story.
I used to see my father players. I was, 10 years old. Then I went to the stadium to get the ball behind the post. But the big memory I have, I think the love with my father was when I was 9 to 10 years old. Brazil played the World Cup in Maracanã, was 50. The final was against Uruguay. Then my father was with the friends there, the other players from the team. Everybody with a big party. Then Brazil lost for Uruguay the final. I saw my father, crying. Then this was my first, moment of love and close with my father. And then coincidentally, I just to make my father happy, I say, listen, don't cry because I'm gonna win one World Cup for you. Don't cry. I was 9 to 10 years old. My dream is coming true 80 years late. In 58, I was in the national team and Brazil won. I was there. This make, very good love connection with my father. When I finished the game, I have to ask for the guy from the radio, who has the communication with another radio, then to tell to my father in Brazil to wait. I have almost 2 days to tell my father, Father, we won. Unbelievable. Now you got the cellular, you talk at the same time. But that time I was ambitious, I suffered because I didn't know. I said, maybe my father doesn't, hear the game. They didn't know anything. I want to talk with him, but I could. I have to wait 2 days to see, to tell my father. Then when we arrived, was in the middle of. I adore my father. He was the person who always used to, give good instruction to us, and with a lot of patience. I was very, I didn't say terrible boy, but I used to play and break your son, break. They said, no worry, I'm gonna pay. And he used to call me and my brother, say, listen, you must, to kick the ball slow, you must kick the ball low. He never fight with us. Then always he come to talk with us, to advise, but with love, always. When I moved to Santos, then he came to Santos with my mother, my father was the same. He encouraged us, he used to cheat me, he used to tell me the wrong move who I used to do in the field. He was a fantastic father.
Wow, what an amazing story. Pele was just 17 years old when he won his first cup. Then he went on to win 3 more. And after each one, he would call his dad and say, I won this for you. Truly amazing. In the coming weeks, Pele's country of Brazil is going to host the World Cup 2014. Don't change your channel. We're going to be right back. Well, for those of you who are so confused about what to eat, whoa, that was me 2 months ago and 45 pounds heavier. And on this new program, wow, the easiest thing I've ever done, and it comes off just like that. So I'm inviting you, if you're struggling, if you've had this problem before and you don't know what to do, I'm asking you to go to our website, totalweightlossclinic.com.
At the bottom of the page here is what you're going to be receiving as your share of the inheritance.
Sometimes things look better from a long way off.
Who is she?
Oh, that's Laura.
Up close, it can all change suddenly.
I actually have an idea of how we could better spend your money.
You do.
He's not going to stop until he finds you, Jake. He'll kill you.
I lost everything.
A Long Way Off. Coming to theaters May 16th.
Scene 55, take 2, Mark.
Hey, I'm Zoe Myers, and I play Summer in A Long Way Off.
I'm Dave Blamey, and I'm playing Seth, the older brother to Jake.
Hi, I'm Edie McClurgan. I'm playing Mrs. Gray in the lovely film A Long Way Off down here in North Carolina.
My name is Robert Darby. All right. Hi, I'm Robert Darby, and I'm playing Frank Miller in the movie A Long Way Off.
I was really drawn to A Long Way Off. Well, first of all, I wanted to work with a lot of the same people that I worked with on Destiny Road. And then I read the script, and I knew that I could really bring something to the character. You know, it's definitely got a great message, and you know, I just saw that a lot of people could really, you know, take back something great from it. A lot of people could connect to it, even if they don't necessarily believe in the same things. I think it still brings a great message to everyone, everywhere. I connected with her character because everyone's seen people that go through something that they know it's not maybe the right direction they should be going. They see them kind of getting into some trouble, and it's hard to, you know, you really feel, especially if it's someone you really care about, you know, you want to help them, but it's really hard to know your boundaries without kind of, you know, coming off too strong. I don't think that she's ever really seen the kind of extreme things that Jake does, and that's why when she sees him at the party and she sees how crazy his lifestyle is, it was kind of a turning point where, okay, she could just get really, really, really mad and really judgmental and just either close him off or yell at him, but then instead we wanted her to be more likable, and that way when she sees it all happen, it's more of a, wow, what should I do differently that can help him?
So what was it about the character of Frank that attracted you to the project?
My friendship with Jerry McLaughlin. Yeah. He called me up and basically said, hey, I'm doing this film, would you come aboard? And it's a faith-based film. So I always talk about in lectures how that the conservatives don't get enough involved in culture. And because culture really leads politics, and it leads the country in a lot of ways. And there's messages. Storytelling has been since the beginning of time. The greatest story ever told is the Bible, of course. And so to be able to have a modern day film told, you know, a modern remake of like The Prodigal Son, that story, a cautionary tale, is something that's important to do. The character is a shadowy character, as you can tell from my eye patch. And he kind of like provides a accountability lesson to the character, the lead character. But just based on the story, and you have children, and you want to be able to say to them, there's always a thing as a parent, I have 5 kids myself, you want to give them at least the lessons, the life lessons you've learned, and the experience you've gone through to help them on their path. And it's hard sometimes to reach the youth, and this film is a film that could help at least give you that journey and be able to say to a kid or anyone, take a look at this. And you know, it gives you the pitfalls of life. It's tough out there. For different films, it's a different process. I don't have any one particular ritual. Unfortunately, on this shoot, there are no bananas available, so I haven't been able to have any. I've been waiting to even have one banana, so therefore my performance is lackluster, if you've noticed. Potassium level is very low. Michael Davis and his partner Andreas, they put together a crew, and they're very attentive.
Excuse me, I got you a banana.
It took 2.5 days for me to get this, and I leave tomorrow.
Look,
But I
You know what? Here you go.
But I just
Enough
wanted,
bananas.
I just wanted one. I just wanted one banana. Thank you. Thank you. I did have my banana. See, now, all's well that ends well.
Yeah.
This one's bruised, but
It doesn't look good at all. Let's try the different one.
no, I'm sure it's fine. That just means it's sweeter.
I heard about the project, heard about Long Way Off from Mike Davis, who we've worked together a couple of times. He called me and said, I got this thing I think you'd be good for. And I said, okay, I'm interested already. When he calls, I'm usually interested. And he sent me the script, and I read it, and I thought it was a great opportunity for me as an actor, and a pretty interesting way to tell a traditional tale. I find it extremely interesting, the dynamic between the father and the two sons, of course, but things like the absence of a mom in this, how that would affect the dad and the two sons' relationships. And I did a lot of reading about this story, and the older brother can come across sort of one of two ways. Most often he's seen as the angry, spiteful, somebody I think even referred to him as bratty. And I just, you know, I didn't want to go there. I wanted to humanize him and make him sympathetic a little bit.
Now, was there anything about the character of Seth that you were able to personally relate to?
Yes, but kind of in a backwards way. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers, and here I'm playing Seth, the older brother. So I looked at myself as a younger brother, looking at my older one, the oldest is 4 years older than me. I'm sure older brothers love their younger brothers, but there's also a sense of I know what's best, because this guy, it doesn't matter if the person is 6 years old or 36, it's always, this is the little brother. If I were telling a friend or a loved one to come see A Long Way Off, I would sell them on the very different take on an old story. Yes, it is the story of the prodigal son that many people at least have a passing knowledge of, but we're telling it, I mean, on a farm in 2012 with horse stables and whatnot. But it's also, I would tell them about the relationships between the father and the two sons. At least that's, of course, to me, in playing the older brother, that there are different dynamics depending on which son is involved or which child that perhaps they could take to their own life. Parents don't treat their kids exactly the same way. Each one has different needs. I think there's some value in that people might be able to find something redemptive from and say, that's okay. I know I have as a father that I look at this and I say, yeah, I got to parent each kid a little bit differently, and that's okay.
I picture her as a widow, and that this family means a lot to her. So she invests a lot of her emotional health in this family, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. I try to connect something in the heart, in the mind. I liked coming here and doing Mrs. Gray because she was a real, you know, grounded, loving person in this film that it was needed, you know, because of the contrast of the two sons and the father and the, you know, and the you know, maybe gonna lose the farm basically. And I liked very much that I was given the opportunity to be that loving mother character to these, you know, very disparate personalities. And not in the way of going around and sweeping up after people, but sweeping up after them in their hearts and, you know, connecting to them. And she just gives a lot. And the thing is that unless it's grounded in some kind of reality and that I can connect to it, it's not going to be funny. It's not going to be smart. Well, I have to say that John Deal, is playing the father, Abraham, is one of the finest actors in America. Everything he does is so dead on, real, and heart. He has great heart. Now he's the dad figure. And then the young men playing his sons, fine actors, local, and just really, really good. And then you add me to the mix, and I think it's a home run.
We could not have made it here without our main man. This is a picture album, Mr. Jason Berkey. And let's thank our executive producers for giving us this opportunity. Jerry and Christy, thank you very much. Let's rap out and party.
Yeah.
Come on.
To that.
That's all the time we got. Hope you enjoyed the show. And for all you fathers out there, have a great day. Happy Father's Day.
To all the dads out there, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
I'm Rusty Martin.
I'm Rusty Martin Jr.
And I'm Scotty McCreary.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Jeez.
Baby, lock them door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. And baby, we ain't got no place to go. Okay.